Nikki here, writing for Jesus. Alright, I want to do a quick little first part of my wrap up for November. Cannot believe it is November already. So I read some pretty good books and I'm reading some really good books right now. So let's get right into it. First, I read this little book, Help, I'm Trapped in My Teacher's Body by Todd Strasser. And this is kind of like a Freaky Friday kind of book. And it was a cute story. It was a fun time. I only paid like $1 for it. So it was definitely worth that. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. So it's about this kid and his teacher switching bodies. And so he is the science teacher. No, nobody likes him. He is so stiff and dull and like just lectures the kids, and he doesn't do experiments. Like he doesn't make it fun or interesting at all. So he is an inventor. He's made this device that hopefully will transfer knowledge over into someone else. So he's like, I don't want to have to be in a classroom. I would love to just stick this helmet on all the kids and have them already attain all the knowledge that I have. He has this one kid, what's his name? Kevin? Jake. And there's a lightning storm. It hits the equipment and it ends up hitting both of them and they switch bodies. So it was really funny seeing them, see each other from the other side. It was a little silly or like a little kind of cringy at times, like, oh my goodness. One thing that it kept throwing me off was like his hair already looks like it's graying. He's already going bald. Like he just looks older. He kept saying how, oh, my back hurts and my knees hurt. Like he just kept coming across way too old. And turns out he was like, I did the math and I remember he was like in his 30s, like 35. I was like, that is not old. That was a little bit distracting. I think they could have done better at clarifying how old he was. 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It was a fun time. I probably won't be keeping it, but it was fun. Okay, and then I finished Maktub by Paulo Coelho, and I got this in Canada, and I was super excited when I got it. It is like kind of a daily devotional kind of thing. It's a very spiritual book, but he has everything in here. He talks about God, he talks about Buddha, he talks about monks, and like all these kind of different things. So it is very spiritual, but it is not strictly Christian. So there were a couple that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Some of the analogies and some of the examples he would use were just kind of not well thought out. Yeah, it was kind of a disappointment. I almost DNF'd a couple of times, but I really did want to finish. There were some that were good, like there was one in here where he talked about Judas and Peter and like the difference between them, and I really liked that one. That was my favorite. Oh, I just thought I would like it more because I really like The Alchemist, and this book says it's like a companion to The Alchemist, but it's just full of a lot of like Chinese fortune cookie fortunes, and it was just kind of lackluster. I don't know, it just seems like there were some that weren't giving a great message. So yeah, I really don't recommend it. It just really wasn't for me. I like most of the inspirational talk in The Alchemist, so I thought I would like this better, but I didn't. But okay, and then a few days ago I found this at the Dollar Tree. They have comics? I'm like, what? So I bought like 5 of them, and this one really screamed at me. This is just so cute. Love this so much. I give it 4.5 stars. So it was really, really neat seeing kind of the shadow and seeing how Harley will fight and seeing how good of a gymnast that she is. This was so neat. It was just highlighting her agility and her fighting skills and her improvisation. Like, she's amazing. So she and Joker are at this party hosted by the Penguin. This artifact is stolen from the Penguin, and apparently Harley used to know this girl and they used to be friends, and they kind of give her backstory. And so it was really neat to see another villain come into the story. I liked learning more about Harley and her friends, and just seeing her, just the way she would fight was just really, really neat, and she's just so joyful and positive all the time and always cracking her jokes, and like, it was really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved the way they were drawn. I loved the Joker. He looked so cute. So 4.5 stars. And I'm going to be giving this to my friend because she loves Harley even more than I do, so I hope she likes it. Okay, I'm gonna get this one out of the way. I read this last night. This was so disappointing. This is so weird. I'm still like, my brain is like boggled by this, but this is The Secret Art of Dr. Seuss. He wrote his books, he illustrated his books. Everything is so colorful and so happy and has just this joyous, light feel to it. Well, I thought it would be the same thing when I read this. It has an introduction and then it's just his art. So I want you to look at this picture. It's called Vultures Waiting for the Fall. I'm like, are you kidding me? That is so morbid. And then he had some that were great. He had some that were a little, you know, borderline kind of weird, creepy. But there were like 3 pictures in here that like had a naked person in it. And I'm like, what? Like, who is this? Like, I just still cannot fathom like that he put this in here. I was extremely disappointed. Gave it 1 star. Actually really irritable last night. Right before I went to sleep, that I was like, what did I just look at? I'm throwing it away. I do not understand the fascination with drawing naked people. Like, when you're an artist, like, he's supposed to be a kid's artist, and even if you're not doing it for kids, like, what is the point of that? I'm done talking about that. Let's move on to something happier. So I did read Inside Out novelization. This was on my TBR for this month, and I really enjoyed this. Gave it 4.5 stars. It was really fun. Kind of watching the movie again, and Fear is so funny. He is hilarious, and he just kept making me laugh out loud. So every time I read a novelization, I want to rewatch the movie or rewatch scenes on YouTube, and then I always learn new stuff. I never realized that Riley's dad had started like a new business. That's why they all moved. A couple times they talk about, oh, dad's new business venture. I was like, oh, like, that's neat. I had never really made that connection. So yeah, just all about Riley moving and having to adapt and adjust, seeing Joy accept sadness and see that she does have a role to play in Riley's life and they can all work together. It's just really beautiful. It's like super good. I read the next Junie B. Jones book in the series, and it was super good. I gave it 5 stars. Her class is putting on a play. It's like Columbus Day, so they're doing a play on Christopher Columbus. She and May, she's like a little brat in the school, they're kind of like, you know, butting heads over this production and stuff, and who's gonna, you know, sail first onto the stage and stuff like that. And so the teacher keeps reminding them, this is not a race. You're all working together to sail to the land. So yeah, things don't go quite as planned. Things don't go very well, but the way that one of the kids salvages it is like so well done. Like, I was like busting up laughing, and like, I'm like, this kid like was born to be in theater. Like, you have to know how to ad lib. You have to know how to salvage stuff. I mean, I had to do that one time when one of my friends forgot her line on stage. We were at the Renaissance Fair, and I was trying to kind of ad-lib for her and try to make it funny and stuff, and then she ended up remembering her line. And so yeah, you have to be able to think on your feet and think quick, you know, so it's really good. Whew! I have so many thoughts on this book. When I finished this book, I was like 5 stars. Like, the epilogue was so good. Like, she had so many connections, but there were certain things towards the end that she didn't fully flesh out, and I was like kind of disappointed. This is about this really good looking dude. This is Charles. Doesn't he look like Willy Wonka and James Franco like put together? And then his stepsister Cecily. So they are in 1563 with like Queen Elizabeth and stuff. 1883, he is a horse farmer. His farm is super struggling. So he has a buddy. He has a guy friend named Andrew that is a time crosser as well. And they time cross like in the same years, which is crazy. And they're like the same age. I'm like, what? What are the odds of that? That was one thing that kind of bothered me a little bit, that I'm like, what? Like, how is this possible that all these people are like time crossers, and they all like live in the same area, and they all know each other. Andrew's mom and aunt have this dumb rivalry, and he is going to inherit his father's like shipping company, and because of all this rivalry stuff, it's hurting the company. In 1563, Charles is the Lord Norfolk. So then Andrew is like, can you please like pretend to be Lord Norfolk in this time period in 1883 and impress my mom, so then she can invite you to her party and she'll win the rivalry. My shipping company can like just get back to normal. So he's like, okay. And he's like, if I do this, will you please invest in my horse farm? And he's like, sure. In 1563, Charles is like, hey, can you use your advanced doctor knowledge stuff and come treat the queen, because she ain't doing too hot. And he's like, okay. So there's deception there. So it's like pretty suspenseful. And because it's from two different perspectives, it's from Cecily's perspective in 1563, Charles' perspective in 1883, you get double romances and you get the double POV. So that's one thing that I thought that Gabrielle, sorry, I think her name is pronounced Gabriel, but I don't like that, so I keep calling her Gabrielle. She did an amazing job capturing the voice of a man, because I could feel Charles's burden that he felt to take care of his family. There were a lot of things that I liked about this book. I liked the Aladdin feels because of him like lying and pretending to be all like, I don't know. I liked the way he handled it. I was like, yes, because I can't stand it when people lie for the whole book and then they have this dumb third act breakup and they're like, you lied to me, I could never trust you, and get out of my face. I loved the romance for both of them. I loved their relationship. The brother-sister bond was really sweet. I loved something that happened in chapter 13. She's never done anything like that before, and it was so exciting. But then we didn't get any kind of payoff, really, and I was like waiting for something bad to come of that, and like nothing came of it. I really needed Charles and Andrew to have some moments of forgiveness, thankfulness. They kind of would have the same conversations over and over. The way the book ended, like, it just bothered me where their relationship was. You have been through so much. You should be closer through everything you have gone through. And I really needed some more verbal affection and some physical affection. Like, just please hug it out, and like, I just need something. I need some brotherly love here, okay? Me and Celestria were talking about it and we were in agreement. And I actually wrote a scene for Charles and Andrew. Thank you, I'm sorry, I love you, man. I wish she would have had this scene in there. She did mention something as well that was kind of scary, like, ooh, you know, what if this happens? And so I, as an author, started writing the ending in my head, and she didn't go in that direction, and it was kind of anticlimactic. Other things at the end were wrapped up like so happy, pretty bow, and I'm like, why is this person so nice to them? Just kind of laid on a little thick. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun ride. I love the way she talks about, in every book, she talks about, do not do anything out of guilt. Do it out of conviction. What God convicts you to do, do it. There were a couple things that I kind of put a star next to that I really liked, and I was like 5 stars, amazing, like it was even better than book 5 in the series. And then I digested it for a couple of days. I kept thinking about it, and then I was kind of like, oh wait, and I didn't like the way this wrapped up perfectly, and I didn't like the way this didn't wrap up well, and it's almost like she bit off more than she could chew. Like, she had so many threads that she almost forgot about a couple of things. Like, it's kind of like, And another thing, last thing that I didn't like, I feel like we got gypped, is I loved the contrast of him being a poor little farm boy in one timeline and then being Lord Norfolk in the other timeline. You have the rich and the poor, that stark contrast. And then you don't really see it. He's like pretending to still be Lord Norfolk in 1883 as well. And I'm like, like, you didn't get to see the poor, starving farm boy and the contrast. And I loved his family in the other timeline. His mom and his sister Ada, I connected so much to the sister. But either way, 4.5, I recommend it. I enjoyed it. I just don't get your hopes crazy high like I do, because I go a little crazy. This is a definite 5-star read. Dude, I'm so happy that I finally read this book. This is an old book. I didn't realize how old it is. 2 of my friends at Bible study have read this series and they really liked it, and I'm like, I'm so excited to be on the train now. Like, this was so epic. Oh my word, it was so well written. Among the Hidden by Margaret Peterson Haddix. This is book 1 in the Shadow Children series. This book is about Luke, and he is a 3rd child. This is a dystopian book. It was a little bit scary because it feels a little bit like, man, I wonder if something like this will happen in the future. The government keeps claiming that there's not enough food, and so they don't have enough to feed everyone, so you can only have 2 kids. And if you have a 3rd kid, the population police will come and take them away. And so they're hiding Luke. So it kind of made me think of like Moses, you know, they hid him for 3 months. But he's like 12 years old. He has to hide, and his parents are now getting even more scared and strict with him because all these woods around his house are being torn down, and they're starting to build more neighborhoods, more houses. Life is even harder for him now. He can't go outside. He can't even like go in certain rooms because they're like, oh no, like there are windows and we don't want anyone seeing you, and it's getting so bad. He's going a little stir crazy, but he's having a really good attitude. He is so sweet. One day he is, you know, by himself at the house. Everybody's at work, everybody's at school, and he sees another kid in a window at one of the new houses. So he ends up taking the plunge of faith and just like, okay, I've had it. I'm just gonna go. Like, I'm just kind of sick of this. I'm not living, I'm existing. I'm just gonna go for it. And he goes over there to investigate and see who it is. And so it's just the story of their friendship. I loved this so much. The characters were amazing. The writing was incredible. The writing was so good, it was making me want to write. That's why I wrote that scene for the Timeless book, and it just really inspired me. So I thought it was incredible. I thought it was so realistic. It is very well researched. Like, she did a really good job of capturing what it would have been like. She thought of everything. Every little thread she talked about and explained, and it was just thoroughly well done. That climax and that ending, I was like, this is insanely good, and I am here for it, and I am so excited to see what happens next. Next read, I finished this Spock's Logic Puzzles. I will be honest, I did not do quite a few of them. It's like, there were quite a few that were really confusing, and then some of them were a little too vague, where I wasn't really sure what he was even looking for. What I did really like was the door puzzles. Those were really fun. There were 12 of them, and I got 9 out of 12. So I only missed 3, so I was really proud of myself. For those were really fun. And I did get a couple other ones where, yeah, you just gotta be logical. So just like this. And so then you would have to figure out which door to go through. And so those were super fun. I did one of them on my channel. I did it as a short. And sometimes he was really like sneaky. He would give you all this information about all these people, and then he would say, how old is this person? And you would be trying to do the math and trying to figure it out. But if you just look earlier in the paragraph, he already gave you that information. So it's like, you really had to think about it. So there were some like that I got. Then there were several others that I was like, I have no idea. So yeah, I didn't do great on these, but the door ones were really fun, and I got those, so I was really happy about that. And it was cool, and I love looking at all the pictures of Star Trek and stuff, so I am going to give this to my friend, because he's really, really smart. I think he'll really like this, so, and I give this 3 stars overall. And then the other day, after work, I read this book. I love it. It was really fun. I didn't remember this one. Journey B. Jones' class is having a field day, and so room 9, her room, is versing against room 8, and so they pick a team captain, and she is chosen, and she is so happy to be team captain, and She thinks she gets to boss everybody around, but her teacher is like, no, you're there to encourage your teammates and lead them and, you know, keep that spirit up. And so it was so sweet to see her learning what it means to be a team captain and learning what it means to have a good attitude even when you lose. And it was really realistic and relatable. The way it ends, kind of seeing that underdog being able to rise up is just so sweet, and seeing Junie be a good team captain and really encourage him and support him, and it was so sweet. I was like, oh, it was like really sweet. The ending kind of got me. I was like, that was beautiful. So 5 stars, really enjoyed it. I also have 3 shows, movies that I want to share. So I saw Wicked for Good. I saw it with a bunch of friends who love Wicked as well, and it was so satisfying, you guys. It was so good. It was such a good conclusion. I loved the songs. I loved the sister bond and seeing their relationship be kind of fraught and seeing them work through everything. Just all the politics, all of the lies and everything that are being spread is just like really, really well done. I think that had a really good message, and I really enjoyed it. I really hyped up this movie, and I kept watching all the TV spots. It actually exceeded my expectations with how well the movie was done. So it was just the continuation of Elphaba as the Wicked Witch of the West and Glinda, and seeing their power struggles and seeing how Elphaba is trying to reveal how fake and what a fraud and how bad that the wizard is and Madame Morrible, and then Glinda trying to, you know, be a public figure and encourage everybody, and, you know, she loves Elphaba and she doesn't want to be like her enemy, but she's kind of caught up and swept up in all of this fame and glory and stuff. So them having to work through that and everything was really, really good, and seeing Elphaba really hone her magic and her abilities and fighting evil and trying to rescue these animals and like do what's right. Like, she is so like trying to do what is right and just like fighting for these animals and fighting for the truth to be known. Like, truth will set you free. Like, it was so good. Oh my goodness. They had action in there and some kind of like couple of kind of like mini fight scenes and stuff. I was like, let's go. Like, man, and her sister, Wicked Witch of the East, oh my goodness, she went full cray-cray in this movie. I was like, she done lost it. Like, wow. But I loved it. It was so satisfying. Like, oh, so good. So 5 stars. Next, I watched Predator, and it was really good. Give it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's just about the Yautja, this creature who kind of remind me of the Hirogen in Star Trek Voyager. They are very, very big on the hunt, just being the strongest and the best. And this guy, Deck, he is on this mission, and he's trying to go after the Kalisk, which is this huge creature. And if I can kill this thing that even my dad is afraid of, if I can kill it, bring it home as a trophy, I'll finally be accepted in my clan. And so he meets some unlikely friends, unlikely heroes along the way. Just kind of seeing him being able to realize, okay, I do need some help. Maybe I can kind of use some of this land to be able to help me. There's really fantastic creatures there. The land itself, the grass and everything, it's just really unique. It was just really neat to see him being able to learn and grow, and it was really good. The fight choreography was awesome. It was incredible. The pacing was good. I really enjoyed it. It had some funny moments in there. It was a very, very well done movie. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I recommend it. Okay, last show I'm going to talk about is David, House of David Season 2. Oh my word. And I'm rewatching Season 1 now. So good. Oh my word. This is insanely good. So epic. It really filled a place in my heart that I didn't know I was missing, to be filled with action. Like, this show, the fight choreography is insanely good. Seeing David's story and seeing all of the, again, the political intrigue and the drama and all of the tension in Saul's house colliding with David is so well done. The faith content is incredible, especially things that Samuel says, and David, well, and Jonathan. They really are impactful. It really helps you remember that faith is what comes first and how we have to trust God, even when things look really, really bleak. Like, I cannot recommend the show enough. This is one of the best well-made shows I've ever seen. like everything about it. Even if like I wasn't a Christian, I could see myself watching it because the action and the acting and the story, like the writing with the dialogue and everything, is so well done. It's incredible seeing David's story come to life on the big screen. I love it. Oh, I love it so much. It's so good. Okay, last clip. Last book I'm going to talk about is Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly. And this is my first Disney retelling book that I have read. I've bought so many of these, so I finally read one. So partly in thanks to my buddy reader. I buddy read this with Christine, Keen Cat. And yeah, we really enjoyed this. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. This is about Belle already being there at the Beast Castle. And she is becoming friends with everybody, and he's already given her the library. She and the Beast have some really fun moments. She's trying to be his friend, and he is so like hurt that he's struggling communicating with her, and so, but she keeps trying. So I think that the author captured her character well. At the beginning of this book, they have a character named Death and a character named Love, and they're like women, like they're real people, and it's like they embody that. And so they kind of work behind the scenes. They have a wager going. Love says that Belle is going to be able to break the spell and, you know, fall in love with the Beast and all of that. And Death is like, no, there's no way that's happening. And so Death starts cheating, and she ends up sending one of her magical books to Belle in the library. And so it's like it grows, and she's able to step inside and be in the story. So she's like book traveling and book wandering in this book called Nevermore. And so she meets Death. She calls herself the Countess. And so she's very manipulative and giving her everything she wants in there. She really wants to keep Belle there in her story, so she can't be with the Beast. Yeah, Death is a brat. And that was the only thing I didn't love about the book, was the character Death herself and some of her minions. Like she had some like puppets and dolls and stuff in the story that got a little creepy, and I did feel a little like, I'm not sure about this. I loved some of the add-ons that she put in here with the story, that if she doesn't break the spell, the characters are going to actually become these inanimate objects. So there were little add-ons that she had in there. She did some scenes from the perspective of the Beast, and you got to know him better, you got to know his backstory. So I loved that. That was great. And this ending and this climax was really good. It really had me cheering on for Belle, and the way she is so tenacious and she will not give up, like, just really spoke to me. And like us being Christians, like, don't give up, do not give in to Satan, you know, to death, and like just fight back. Like, not today, Satan, like this is not happening. You have to get that righteous anger and that strength from the Holy Spirit. Like, no, this is not happening. So I loved that. That was so inspiring. It was so sweet. I loved seeing her love people so much. Like, it was so inspiring and encouraging. Like, yeah, you go, girl. Like, I was so rooting for her and cheering her on in this book. It had some good messages of her being blinded and manipulated by how pretty everything looked inside this bookish world, and ignoring the things that kind of unsettled her. And I feel like that's us with sin. Like, oh, like, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, it's okay. And then before you know it, you're kind of entangled in things, and then you're like, oh no, what have I done? So yeah, some really good allegory in here. I don't even know if the author really meant to put that in there, but I loved it. So I kind of wanted the story to like continue. I kind of wanted to see like more, and like see more of her time with the Beast, and like have the whole movie play out as we know how it ends. That would have made the book way too long, but it's like, yeah, I kind of was invested in these characters. Okay, that is the end of this video. I'm sorry it's so long. I should have done a mid-month wrap-up, but I didn't realize I was going to read so many books this month. It was a great month. October and November were like fantastic. Yeah, it was a good reading year. I can't believe it's almost over. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you in my next one, and take care. Bye.